Hi guys, welcome to the Sunday Talks show. I am Marlene. I am the content creator for Living Your Best Life. And today we are going to talk about a really serious topic about manipulators, users, narcissists, all of that. So I want to start off the show by dropping my Cash App. And I have membership on my channel. I welcome all of you guys to the membership on the channel. My members are Boss Life Online, Bozo Calvin Jr., Team Ranger, Pandy's Hair Candy and More, Pittsburgh Artist Studio, Dynamis Sound Mind Services, Be Amazing Sylvia, and Marlon's Music Channel. Yes, thank you to all my members. I appreciate all of you guys so much. You're really a valued part of my channel. Everyone, please let me know if you can hear me before I get started. Can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yep, you can hear me? Great. So thank you so much, everybody who's here. Hi, Angela. Hi, Boss Life Online. Hello, Jaden. Yes, guys, welcome. How are you doing today? I'm going to stop my banner here. And I am going to go next to the channel song. I'm going to go to the channel song. So welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. And you know how we do it over here at Living Your Best Life. We're going to start with our encouraging channel song. So let's go, guys.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Yes, guys, welcome to the Sunday Talks program. Today is Sunday, May the 16th, 2021. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today I wanted to cover the topic of manipulators, users, and narcissists. I wanted to cover this topic because it's very important to talk about. There are so many people in this world who are being subject to manipulators, users, and narcissists. So I'm going to open it up by turning on my camera and welcoming everybody here. Yes, guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Let me go to my comment section. See who's in the comments. Yes. Oh, Angela put up the song. Yeah, the channel song. Yes, me and Boss Life Online worked on that song together. So, yes, I love my channel song. How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday to you guys. I'm going to just start off, first of all, by telling you guys how much I appreciate you guys always being here for the Sunday Talk show. I took a little break last week, and I think I did the video. It was with my, I don't know why I feel like I was going to cry just now, but I did the video with talking about my grieving story. So if you have not checked that out, please check that out on my channel. It's called My Grieving Story. So yeah, and I also did a recent video on a story time. I didn't know I was Black. So those are two. No, and I also did a get to know me. So I've done 3 kind of personal videos back to back. So I feel like, okay, now I can come back. I'm ready to come back to a Sunday talk show. So I'm going to get right into it, guys. Today's topic is about users, manipulators, narcissists. Now, first of all, let's talk about what a user is. A user is a person who is a taker. They take, take. They have no intention of doing anything for you, anything that will benefit you. These are a person that just pull from you until you are just a shell of a person. Do you hear me? And why is that not good? It's not good for a person who is a user because it's only for their benefit. It's a one-sided relationship, even if you would call it a relationship. It's just a one-sided taking until they're going to keep taking until you cut it off. So that's a user. And I wanted to tell you guys about users because it's very important to identify these type of people. And it could be anybody. It could be in your family. It could be a friend, suppose it. It could be a workmate. So many relationships in our lives is built on people who are users. And we may not really be sure, until you start looking at some of these factors. What is the last thing that they did for you? That's very important for your life, for your spiritual, emotional, and physical health, to identify a person who is a user. So identify those users and try to pull back from those type of people. They're one of the easiest classes of the discussion we're going to have today to pull away from. Once you identify somebody as a user in your life, you can just cut them off, because that's what you need to do. If you don't stop it, they're going to not end it. You are the person that's going to have to end a using relationship. Don't let people take you for granted. And I'll tell you why. Because you deserve better than that. We all deserve better. But some people, they are set up that way. They are only going to be around you as long as it serves a purpose for them. They don't look for anything that they can bring to the table for you. And that's why they are a user. Do you hear me? A user. So let's go into the next one, manipulators. Okay. Do you know what a manipulator is? Okay. I'm going to tell you right off. This is how you can spot a manipulator. Okay. How to spot and stop a manipulator. So this is going to be 8 tips for keeping them at a distance or breaking free. Okay, guys? So manipulation, it can be defined as an exercise of undue influence through mental distortion and emotional exploitation. So without the intention to seize power, control, benefits, and privileges at a victim's expense. So it's very important to distinguish between a healthy social influence from psychological manipulation, because healthy social influence is going to occur between most people and is part of taking constructive relationships. So in manipulation, one person is used for the benefit of another. The manipulator deliberately, so on purpose, they create an imbalance of their power and they exploit you to serve their agenda. Okay? Done on my end. Those people were deleted from my life about 10 years ago. Yes, Angela. And you are so right. Users are abusers. They are abusing you. They are abusing you. and it really goes into your emotional health. They will beat you down emotionally. And sometimes you may be able to heal from the scars of a physical abuse, physical attacks, but those emotional scars, those verbal scars, they can last for years. Yes, manipulators are pretty underhanded. Yes, and and they are the type of people who are manipulators are the type of people that they feel like they're so smart. Like nobody else has any ability to see through them, to see, their manipulation, their using factors, but you can. So keep your eyes open. So I'm going to tell you guys how to spot some of them, okay? So most manipulative individuals, they have four common characteristics. So pay attention, guys. They know how to detect your weaknesses. That's number one. They know how to detect your weaknesses. So say a person, you're in a relationship with this person, romantic, it could be a family, even in the job setting. They can look at you and they can see what it is that you may be weak on. They know your weak points and they use that to your advantage. So that's why it's so important in a relationship for you not to just divulge, to not tell all your personal information. That's so important because the more that you tell people about you is the more that people can say, okay, this is what I can do, because there are some people out there that they don't mean any good. They're just here to take, to use, to be underhanded, to find out, okay, let me see. Okay, they have money. Okay, let me see how I can get some money from them. Let's see if I can do this. If I can get this, I can take some of their stuff. I can, whatever it is. So beware of those type of people. Number two, once they find out your weaknesses, they use your weaknesses against you. That's number two. So the first one is they know how to detect your weaknesses. So most of the time, manipulators, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They're very smart individuals. But once they see your weaknesses, now they say, okay, now they start to plot. They plot against you. They scheme. Okay, now what can I do to use this person? What can I do to abuse this person? So number three, they will try to convince you to give up something of yourself in order to serve their self-centered interests. So once they find out what your weakness is, they're going to do something to try to get you to do something for them, to try to use you and abuse you for their selfish interests. Yes, Angela, they are very sneaky. These type of people are very sneaky and dangerous. So, number four, in work, social, and family settings, once a manipulator succeeds in taking advantage of you, he or she will likely repeat the violation until you put a stop to the exploitation. So, they find out how they can use you, and once they got you hook, line, and sinker, they're going to keep using you, keep violating you until you put a stop to it. So you have to be very careful for a manipulator, because they are a type of person, they're going to keep taking until you have nothing emotionally, spiritually, financially. So be careful of that. So the way to spot them is that you have to know your fundamental human rights. The most important guideline when you're dealing with a manipulated person is to know your rights and to recognize when they're being violated. So as long as you do not harm others, you have the right to stand up for yourself. You have the right to defend your rights. You have the right to be treated with respect. And I feel like a lot of times with manipulators, they will make your self-esteem be this small. They will keep taking from you until you are at zero. So recognize You have the right to be treated with respect. You have the right to express your feelings, your opinions, your wants, and your desires. You have the right to set your own priorities. I know when you're dealing with a manipulator, they have their agenda all the way at the top. Their agenda usually is the top priority, but you have to let them know your priorities. And you have to remember also when you're dealing with a manipulator that you have the right to say no without feeling guilty. A manipulator will always make you feel, oh, you can't do that for me. I thought you were going to help me. I thought you were my friend. I thought you were going to, you're there for me. So they really do play a lot of mind games, and you have to be really leery of those type of people. Yes, manipulators are underhanded, Angela, and that's why we have to be very careful of them. And you have the right to get what you pay for. So say there's a manipulator when it comes to business. If somebody makes a promise, you have a right, especially in business, that if something is promised, make sure in business when you're dealing with anybody, you get things in writing. So many people get taken advantage of this way when it comes to a manipulator. If you don't have something clear and in writing, you have nothing to reinforce and support what you have agreed on. So you have the right to have opinions different from other people. Manipulators will always make you feel that your opinion doesn't matter. They will always put their opinion at the top. You have the right to take care and protect yourself from being threatened physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Those are really big, guys. It is really big. Yes, Boss Life Online, they do play mind games. People play so many mind games, it's ridiculous. Is manipulators, they play so much mind games, they make you feel like sometimes that you're the crazy one when they are the crazy ones. That's why all of the ones I know is in the stick bag. Yes, you have to be very careful of a person who's a manipulator. And like I just said, you have the right to care and protect yourself from physical, mental, and emotional harm. You have the right to create your own happy and healthy life. Do not listen to a manipulator when they tell you that, oh, first, can you do this for me first? So they're always putting themselves, they're always putting their agenda, their motives, their finances first, and you keep getting put further and further back on the radar. Further and further back, your needs, your wants, your desires, especially if you are in a relationship with a manipulator. They're always going to be thinking about, oh, but can you help me with this? And can you help me with this? And can you help me with that? They become the center and the focus of the relationship. And after a while, you get lost in the shuffle. So especially in a relationship, you have to be keep your eyes open. So you have the right to set your own boundaries. And that's one thing that a manipulator does not like. A manipulator does not like boundaries, okay? So that's why it's so important, especially in a romantic relationship, it's so important to tell the other person exactly what you want, exactly what you need, exactly what you desire. And when they don't fulfill that, it's time to start giving some space between you and them. It's time to start pulling back from those type of people. Time to pull back. Okay. So, number two is keep your distance. One way that you can really detect a manipulator, guys, is to see if that person acts different in front of different people. And that is a key sign for a manipulator. For you, around you, they could be very shy and sheepish. And then around another person, they can be the life of the party, laughing and dancing. And that's why it's important to have your eyes wide open, especially in romantic relationships, and see really, is this person really who they are, claiming to be, exactly who they say that they are? So be careful about that. Remember, in a relationship, it's not your job to change people. It's not your job to save people. And I know that is usually what a manipulator does. They always want to make you feel like they need you. And who's going to help me if you don't help me? They always want to, you know, make you feel like their agenda is the most important agenda, and your agenda doesn't matter. Oh, we can deal with you tomorrow, but today I need this. Today I need you to help me with this money. Today I need you. Today is always today on them. When is it going to be your turn? Keep your eyes and your ears open to manipulators, guys. Yep. Keep your eyes open to those manipulators. So number three, avoid personalization and self-blame. Manipulators' agenda is to look for and exploit your weaknesses. And they may make you feel like you're inadequate, or may even blame you for not satisfying them. Well, it's your fault. If you had done this, then I wouldn't have got so mad. That's another type of person, like especially a person who's a physical abuser. They like to hit. They always would like to blame you instead of accepting responsibility for themselves. So be careful for a manipulator. You know, they're more likely to want you to surrender your power and your rights. They make you feel like you don't have rights in the relationship. A person who thinks it's all about you. These are some of the questions, guys, that I want you to ask yourself. Whoever is you think a person who's a manipulator, ask yourself, am I really being treated properly? Am I being treated with genuine respect? Am I being respected? Is the giving in this relationship primarily me, or are they giving back to me? Ultimately, do I feel good about myself in this relationship? That's a key factor to note, guys, in a relationship with a manipulator. You have to think about yourselves. Am I being satisfied in a relationship? Am I being respected? Am I being talked to in a way that I deserve? Only you can answer that question. Don't let a person manipulate you, especially, I think a lot of times we go by our emotions, that we love them, we care about them. But that is not how love shows up to the table. Love, just like the Bible says, love is kind, love is patient. Love does not look after its own interests. Love never fails. So you have to be very careful, especially if a person is saying, but you love me. If you love me, you would do this. If you love me, you would do that. So be careful of somebody who's just using the label of love to manipulate you, to use you to play games, to, basically get what they want instead of you getting what you want, because a relationship is two-sided. You are supposed to get satisfaction in the relationship, and so are they. So it's a compromise. It's a give and a take, But if they're the only person taking, keep your eyes wide open. Okay, guys, keep your eyes open. Yes, Angela, self-love is selfless. And I think a lot of times people are only thinking, I love them, I love them. And it's not always romantic. Even your children, family members on the job, you make all these sacrifices, but also you have to think about yourself too. You can't be empty inside, because if you have nothing to be able to give, the relationship will not last. You also have the right to be fulfilled, respected, and loved within any relationship. Yes, guys, thank you all for your comments. I appreciate the comments so much. So let's go into asking some questions about some manipulators, okay? Here are some examples. Does this seem reasonable to you? Does what you want from me sound fair? Do I have a say in this? Are you asking me or are you telling me? That's a big one. Because a lot of times with a manipulator, they will tell you, I need you to do this. I want you to do this for me. They're not asking, can you? Or is it okay? Or if you have time. No, it's always one-sided. So be aware of that. You have to ask yourself, are you asking me or are you telling me? And here's an important question, especially to the ladies. Ask yourself, what do I get out of this? A lot of times in all relationships with family members, friends on the job, all relationships, a person who's a manipulator, they will always see what they get out of this. What do they want? Is their agenda being fulfilled? But they never think about what do you have to put it back on yourself. You have to think about you. What do I get out of this relationship? An important question is you asking, are you really expecting me to? And then you state whatever request they ask. So sometimes even if you repeat it back to yourself, it doesn't make any sense. Are you really expecting me to give you $700? Say things back to yourself. Think about things. You want me to give you $700 and my bill is due. Think about that sometimes too. We have to ask ourselves questions, probe to find out. Be careful about, especially when it comes to money. They always say 50% of relationships break up because of money problems. Either people don't agree with how money is being spent, they don't feel the person has enough money, or the person wastes or squanders their money. So money is a big issue in relationships, not just romantic relationships, even with children, relationships in every sort of area. It's very important. Money will really break up a relationship, especially a person who's a manipulator. They're always, once you start and open that bag of money, I want money, they're never going to stop. First, it may start off with maybe $5 or $10 they've made. Oh, and it's always, can they borrow until payday? Let me get some of that money until next week, until my tax return, until this, until that. Always with a promise to pay back the money. And you never will see a dime, because they'll say, okay, yeah, I know I owe you that, but the next time, hey, Coleman, welcome. How are you? Happy Sunday to you. Yes, they will always promise that they're going to give you that money back. They will always claim, I'm going to give you some money. I'm going to repay you. I promise on payday. Always promises. And you will never see that money again. It's always a promise of, I'm going to give you on Friday. I'm going to give you next week. Always. Yes, happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. Yes, joining on the discussion, Coleman. Yes, so they always are asking, give me this, give me that. So, number 5, use your time to your advantage. When you get unreasonable requests from a manipulator, a user, you will often expect an answer. They will expect an answer from you right away. So it's always going to be something like, hurry up, hurry up. I need this. This deal is about to close. I have to have it in an hour. It's always a rush thing to try to get you to part with your money, your time, whatever. So you have to use your leadership skills, ask questions, tell them I need time. Don't let anybody rush you, especially when it comes to money, especially when it comes to matters of your heart. No, don't let people tell you what you want to do until you're really ready, until it's what you really want and what you really desire. Hey, Anuncia, how are you doing? Welcome. Yes, Coleman, freeloaders. I changed my whole life from them. I'm glad you did, Coleman. There are so many people who don't. So many people, they get stuck in that, what is it called? That rat race. Once they don't want to let go. There's some people, they just don't want to be alone. They're afraid of being alone. They're scared of being alone. They would rather be with a manipulator, a user, or a narcissist than to be by themselves. Angela says, never lend what you can't afford to lose, sadly. Yes, Angela, a sad fact is that I have learned that the hard way. I too have parted with many a dollar just trying to be a good family member, a good person in a relationship, trying to be there, trying to be a supporter. But they would never do it for you. They would never part ways with their money, but they expect you to part with your money. So be careful of that. So this is another way how you can spot a manipulator. Okay, guys? Tell them, I'll think about it. Those are very powerful words. Consider that when they're trying to pressure you. Oh, I need the money by Friday. Oh, I promise I'll get you back on next week. They're always going to give you a deadline, but they don't expect you to give them one. Remember, there is power in saying no. It's better to say no now than to lead to disappointment and pain later. Because when your bill is due, now what are you going to do? Be careful, especially when it comes to money in relationships with family members, friends, and coworkers, especially those 3. Be careful with how you give money to somebody who's a manipulator and a user. Please know how to say no. And I can't emphasize that enough. So many people do not know how to say no and stand firm in that. They will say no, and then later on they'll say, well, okay, if you promise to give me by Friday. Be careful of that, because they'll say, okay, they will say no, but they'll change their mind. Be careful of those type of people. Be careful. Coleman says, yes, they have a sad story. Oh my goodness, Coleman, all the time. It's always one thing after another with them, right? Oh, I need this. Oh, my light is about to get cut off. My phone is about to get cut off. This, I just lost my job. Oh, and now they're claiming everything because of COVID. If it wasn't for COVID, I would have it, but I don't. And I'm saying to myself, it's COVID for me too. You're not the only one experiencing COVID, so they only think about themselves. So always when I ask, it's a no, pick up the phone. So I said, I need to change. Yeah, you're right, Coleman. You're so right. Yes, good for you, Coleman. And I find it to be like, not now, but I think when I didn't know who I was, when I was still learning what I wanted and I needed in my life, it was so hard to say no to people. But the more that you say no, when it's something you really can't do, or something that's going to cause you financial, physical, emotional pain, it's better to say no now and be happy later than to say yes and then later on you're crying about it, or you're angry, or dealing with regret and guilt. So good for you, Coleman. Proud of you. Angela says there should be a school for learning to say no. I feel like, Angela, I feel like that's true. I think sometimes, like when you were in school, there's certain things that I feel like should be in a school criteria. Teaching kids about self-esteem, money matters, money management, investing. There's certain things that I feel like in school is not taught that really does need to be taught. Yes, indeed, Coleman. Okay, so this is number 6 for dealing with a manipulator. Confront bullies safely. So a psychological manipulator also becomes a bully when he or she intimidates or they harm another person. So be careful in a safe way. The most important thing for you to keep in mind when you're dealing with a bully is that they pick on those who they think is weaker, a person who's very passive, who will let them have their way. So you have to have a backbone. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for your rights. Learn to say no. Say, I'm not going to do that. Tell them they need to do things for themselves. Just because I helped you last time doesn't mean I can help you this time. So don't become a victim, raise yourself up, believe in yourself, believe in your light, because it's not worth it. Don't live with regret. So here is a good quote by Tom Hiddleston. It says, when people don't like themselves very much, they have to make up for it. And the classic bully was actually a victim first. So most of the time, a person who is a manipulator, they probably were used. They probably were manipulated. So now they are getting themselves into that and doing exactly what was done to them. So some people try to step on you, try to push you down so that they can succeed. So if you think about that, if you are only serving the needs of another person, if you're only serving the needs of anybody in your life, your kids, your spouse, your significant other, your job, when is there ever going to be room for you? That's the kind of thinking process that I want to come to you guys. We're people who are more aware of ourselves. We are believing in ourselves. We're shining our light. We are confident people. We are loving ourselves. We're making better decisions. We're thinking about our future, especially when it comes to our money, goals that we have in our life. If you only serve the needs and agendas of others, when will your needs and agendas ever get fulfilled? You have to start thinking in that way. I know I personally had to start thinking that way. It's not that you don't care about others, and not that you don't want to help others, but you have to think about yourself. You have to think about you, because if you don't put yourself on the table, on the agenda, on a purpose, if you don't have a focus for yourself, know what you want, know what you desire, and people will see that. A classic manipulator will look at somebody and know, oh, they don't know what they want. So if they don't know what they want to do with their money, they don't know what they want to do with their time, I'm going to tell them what they're going to do. So be careful of that. Yeah. You agree, Angela Curtis? Yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys now about these 17 signs of a manipulator. Let me see if I can share the screen. And share screen. 17 warning signs. You guys let me know if you can see this on your screen. Let me see. I'm going to take this off. Let's see. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to put this full screen. Okay? So I'm going to just share with you guys the 17 warning signs of a manipulator. So everyone knows or has come into contact with a manipulator. Oh, this information came from pairedlife.com/spot the manipulator in your life. And here are some warning signs to alert you to a manipulator, okay, guys? So number one, charm and niceness. Sometimes a person, if they come across too nice, too sweet, too suave, be careful, have your antennas up. There is a thing as somebody who's being too nice. You have to also think about a person's motive. What do they want? What are they trying to do? Another sign of a manipulator is denial. No matter how many times you will tell somebody something, they're always going to deny it. No matter what they do, they're going to deny. And a big one for a manipulator is lying. They lie all the time. They lie, they lie, they lie, and they lie some more. Number 4, they want you to be generous with favors and gifts. They always want, give me more, give me more, give me more. And it's not just in romantic relationships. You have to realize that manipulators can be your children. Children can be a manipulator, always making you feel like you have to give them this and give them that. You don't have to do anything but be a good parent. That's it. So be careful when it comes to your children as well. When you're giving, you can give them gifts if you are able to, but don't do something for fear of making them sad or thinking because of obligation. Be careful of that. A manipulator will also try to put out a good first impression. They're always going to try. Number 8, this is a big one, pretending to be a victim. Manipulators love to make themselves be a victim. Everything is against me. Everything is wrong. Nothing is going right. Oh, and always making you feel like it's you. You're the problem when it's them. They are the problem. A manipulator loves to give you the silent treatment because they're too busy scheming on their next agenda. Always scheming, always scheming, always scheming what to do next. A manipulator appears to be selfless. What do you guys think about that? Selfless, when they are the most selfish people you can ever meet. They're always talking about, oh, I do all of this for other people. I do this, I do this, I do this. And and you're thinking, when's the last time you did something for me? Here is a big one, guys. Number 11, guilt tripping. They like to make you feel guilty. Oh my goodness. I thought you cared about me. I thought you wanted to help me. Always trying to make you feel like you never do enough for them. Another key sign of a manipulator is shaming you. Shaming you. Oh, you said you were going to do this and you didn't. Or putting you down, saying that you're stupid, trying to break on your self-esteem. Be very careful of those type of people. Number 13, intimidation. They're trying to intimidate you and make you feel afraid of them, scared, trying to invoke some fear in you to get their own selfish motive. Gaslighting, rationalization. So this is the big one, guys, with rationalization. They try to make you feel that everything, if you would have helped them, things would be working better for them. They're always making it be about them. They never expect responsibility for anything. They're always blaming somebody else instead of accepting responsibility for themselves. Here's a big one, diversion. They're always trying to make it seem like, changing the subject, making it be on somebody else instead of directing attention to themselves. Because if you direct attention to them, now they're going to have to accept responsibility for themselves, and they can't do that. Okay? I'm going to get into narcissism now, guys. I'm going to get into narcissism now. I'm going to share the feedback, and we're going to talk about narcissism now. So this one is about what is a narcissist. Okay, guys? I hope you guys can see the screen. Yeah. Okay. So here it is. What is a narcissist? So this information came from goodhousekeeping.com. This is what is a narcissist. 8 key traits of narcissism, what everyone should know. This is how to tell if someone has NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, or is just a self-centered know-it-all. Okay, guys? You ready for it? So the question is, what is a narcissist? A narcissist is a person who suffers from NPD. It differs in ways from just your average self-centered person. A narcissist is a person who has a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance. So they're the type of person that they put excessive attention on themselves, excessive admiration of themselves, and they lack empathy for other people, like the whole world is just about them. Okay, Angela, thank you so much. Yes, they try to make the whole world be about them. You know, they have no empathy for anybody else but themselves. You know, everything is about their own importance, their own self-image, their own admiration of themselves. Everything is about them, and they will not stop at anything to get what they want. So what are some of the traits of a narcissist? You know, people with NPD, they expect to get special treatment. Do you hear that, guys? Special treatment. They think that nobody else in this world matters besides them. They are the most important person in the world. They exaggerate their own smarts, success, power, and their looks. So when it comes to them, they're the best looking people. Hey, silly mommy, welcome. Happy Sunday. How are you doing? Yes, a narcissist, most attractive person. They are the most successful person, and they exaggerate it. So say they made $100 doing something with the stock market. They would say they made $1,000. They always have to make themselves look really smart. And narcissists are extremely jealous and extremely sensitive. So they want the focus to be always on them. Nobody else can have a moment of their shine, their own glory, because the whole world revolves around a narcissist. And narcissists, as this says, they tend to be very thin-skinned. They may angrily lash out at any criticism or pushback. So say you call them out on something, they do not like that. They do not want you to call them out. They want the whole attention to be on them, and they never will accept any responsibility, because a narcissist feels that the whole world is all about them. So guys, let's talk about what causes a person to be a narcissist. Does anybody in the chat know a narcissist? So a narcissist, no one really knows what causes this disorder according to the Mayo Clinic. it often begins to show up in a person's early adulthood, and there's factors that lead to it. So it's sometimes how it affects their behavior and their thinking, and also their environment, the way that they were raised. You don't, Boss Life Online? Oh boy, I know a few narcissists and it's awful. I will tell you that. They're the type of person that no matter what is going on, you could be talking about something not even on that agenda. You're not even talking about that. And they will find a way to always turn the conversation to make the conversation about them. And I feel like that is so sad and so pathetic. So sad and pathetic. They always want to make everything be about them. Hey, everybody in the chat. How is everybody on this Sunday? I wanted to talk about the subject of users, manipulators, narcissists, because they're sometimes, if you pay attention, you may not even realize that you have manipulators, users, and narcissists in your life. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Boss Life Online. That's why I wanted to do this Sunday Talks program, because if you don't really pay attention and you look for things, you'll just say, oh, they're just a hard person to deal with. But when you look at all the signs of a narcissist, a user, a manipulator, there may be more people than you actually realize who that's who they are. And it's important to identify these people so that you are not being used. It's so important to identify these type of people, because especially a person who's a narcissist, especially a person who is a user, we have to identify that, because if we don't, we're going to be taken advantage of, and that's not what we want. That's not what we need. We deserve way better than that, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about this narcissist, because I feel like it's so important to talk about a narcissist. Because when you get to the sign where a person who's a narcissist, they will think so much about themselves. And if you ever try to call them out on something, make them feel that you're trying to make them claim and say what they really are, that especially when they're doing something wrong, especially when they're manipulating, they're trying to get their way. They don't like that, and they will get very angry, and they will definitely be a person who will like to hit. They will be a definite physical abuser. So be leery of people who are acting that type of way, acting that the world revolves around them and nobody else matters but them. So if you ever try to call them out on something, especially something that is wrong, or say something ridiculous, like you're not even talking about them. You could be saying, oh, we're going to do this on Saturday for this person, and then they would say, so when are you guys going to come to my party? Are you guys going to come to my party next week? So they always try to refocus. They're always trying to refocus on themselves. They never like the attention to go to somebody else. They always want the whole world to be about them. They want you to talk about how smart and intelligent they are, all the accomplishments that they have made. And life don't go that way, And I want to talk to you guys also about these users, and why I want to talk to you guys about users, especially users in relationships, romantic relationships, because I want you guys to open up your eyes. It's time we don't just be in a relationship just to be in a relationship. Be in a relationship because somebody is actually giving you love, actually taking care of your needs, actually thinking about you, doing something that makes you smile. Yes, a relationship is a give and a take, but it can't always be about them, always about what they want, what they need, what they desire. You know, a relationship is about a person doing something for you. So that's why, like I said earlier, you have to ask questions like, what am I getting out of the relationship? What is the last time that they did something for me? What do I want? Am I being fulfilled? Am I happy in this relationship? Ask those questions, because so many times, sometimes when you're in a relationship, you get caught up in the relationship, especially if you have children with this person. You get caught up in just being in the relationship, just making your children happy. When is the last time that you start thinking about you, about what you want, what you need, what you desire? So don't not think about yourself. We have to put some of the focus back on ourselves. Actually think about, am I being treated well? Am I being respected? Also, especially in family, that's a whole long subject. In family, there is so much manipulation, so much using that happens, and it's not good. Our family is supposed to be, about caring about each other, being supportive of each other. And I learned a long time ago that family is not just by blood. I have people in my life that is closer to me than my own blood, because just because somebody's related to you by family, it doesn't mean that it's a good and healthy relationship. And that's why I wanted to cover this in the topic of users, manipulators, and narcissists, so that you can identify that while a person may be a family and member and you can't completely separate yourself from them, but you can pull back from them. And that is so important, because for your own emotional, mental, spiritual, and your physical health, you have to pull back from people if you're not being fulfilled, if somebody is not giving you what you want and you need and what you desire. Because your desires, your needs matter. You need to be happy. You deserve to be happy. You deserve that. And I think a lot of times in a relationship, we are so focused on making the other person happy, you know, focusing on them. But when are you going to focus on you? You have to focus in on yourself. Ask yourself, am I happy? Even when it comes to your children, are my children respecting me? When's the last time my child did something for me to make me happy? Those are things that you do have to teach your children as well. Let them respect you, that mom or dad needs personal time for themselves. That's part of loving yourself, letting your light shine, and respecting yourself, because part of self-respect in any relationship is thinking about what you want, what you need, and is that being fulfilled? Are my desires being fulfilled? Am I happy? Are they doing things that make me smile? Do they think about me? All of that is part of a happy and healthy relationship. And if you are not ever being asked, is there anything that I can do for you? How can I make you smile? Is there something that you need? If somebody can't do something for you without having to receive back, that's a red flag. Red flag. Pay attention to this, guys. I want you to pay attention to this, because that's so important. You can't always give to others. That's a sign of a person who is a user. Don't let people use you. You deserve better than that. You have potential within you. You're deserving of love, happiness, respect. If somebody is not respecting your wants and your needs and your desires, if you're in a relationship and they're financially draining you, that's not healthy. That's toxic. You can't let somebody always be their bank. You're not a bank. You're not that person's bank. In a relationship, yes, once in a while I'll do something to help you, but it shouldn't be them all the time that you have to bail them out. No, you don't have to bail out somebody. You're not a bank. You're not a bank. You're not a financial institution. A relationship, it goes both ways. You help me this time, I help you this time. I'll support you. And is that person helping you emotionally? That's a sign that a person is a manipulator and a user. Are they saying things like, I just called just to say I love you? I'm here for you, just to listen to you. Is there anything I can do that can make you happy? Are you getting that in your relationship? That's why I wanted to talk to you guys about this, so that you guys can open yourself up, open your eyes, be aware, be aware. Know that you're deserving of your personal time. You're deserving of having a vacation, having some time by yourself. What in any relationship, you deserve to have time off work. You deserve to have time by yourself. You deserve to have a healthy financial portfolio. You deserve all of these things. You deserve to be healthy. And I see so many times, especially in a toxic romantic relationship, they're not helping you to be healthy physically. They're not wanting you to look good, go to the gym, because they don't want you to look better than them, especially a person who's a narcissist. They don't want anybody else to look at you. They're very jealous. They don't want somebody else to say you look beautiful. They don't want the focus to be off of them. So be careful for those type of people. I want you guys to be aware. And in awareness, we shield ourselves, we protect ourselves, not just ourselves, but our children, even our family members and coworkers. Because if somebody really cares about you, they're going to think about your needs. They're going to think about your wants. They're going to think about your desires. So open your eyes to that. I see so many times on reality TV, on people who are just trying to be famous. Don't let somebody who just try to be in the spotlight all the time. Not all the time, but once in a while, you can shine, put yourself in that spotlight, be happy. It's so important for you to be happy, for you to be fulfilled, getting what you want and you desire. That's so important in this life. Instead of always putting the focus on making your mate happy, making your kids happy, making your job happy, making this person happy. If you keep taking away little fractions of you to make your kids happy, your job, your family members, your friends, what part of that puzzle, what piece is left for you? You have to leave something for you. You have to remember, when you show up, you have to be full inside first before you can give to anybody. Before you give somebody money, before you give somebody your time, before you give somebody of your emotional well-being, you have to be all right too. So that's why it's important to check on yourself, check on your relationships, and make notes of, I think this is becoming an unhealthy relationship with a family member, with a friend, in a relationship, on the job. And I say on the job too as well, because especially during COVID, we may be working because they don't have enough staff. So you have to also think about yourself as well on the job, that I need to take off a day every once in a while. So for you, for your own well-being, don't run yourself down. You have to remember, you only get one of you. So you have to take care of yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. When all aspects of you are full, when you fill up your own cup, then you can help other people. But don't allow other people who are users and manipulators to come in, target you, tell you what to do. That's a key thing that a manipulator and a user will do. They will try to tell you what you should do. They will try to take all your money, take all your time, take all your focus, and make it be about them. Remember, guys, you have to remember, if you don't know what you want, somebody else will tell you. So when you show up in any relationship that's healthy, they're going to also think about you as well. They're going to think, oh, can I do this for you? Somebody who cares about you would try to find out what makes you happy. What do you like? What kind of food do you like to eat? When's the last time they did something nice for you, like go get you something to eat, bring it to you, you know? Fulfill you in that way. It doesn't always have to be financial, but what about the time? Just somebody just calling you to tell you, hey, I was just thinking about you. Yes, indeed. Yes, silly mommy. Just somebody reaching out and showing some respect to you, you know, that goes a long way in any relationship, with your children, in a romantic relationship, on the job, just by somebody respecting you and saying, I was thinking about you. Thank you, Boss Life Online. Saying, I was thinking about you. I was, is there anything that I can do? Is there anything I need? A person who really cares about you and is not a toxic person is going to think about what you desire. They're going to be looking and say, oh, Marlene likes this, or Silly Mommy likes this, or Boss Life Online likes this. And then they're going to do things that make you happy because they're paying attention. Somebody who is a user, a narcissist, a manipulator, they're not going to be looking towards you. They're not going to be looking to anything but themselves. So I want you guys to identify that. Pay attention. Keep your eyes open. And I think a lot of times as women especially, I'm talking to the mothers, the aunties, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the uncles. We all have roles in our lives, but you have to draw a line in the sand and let people say, this is how far I'm going to let you go and no further. I'm going to help you, but I cannot fully take care of you. You have to set boundaries and rules in a relationship. Boundaries and rules are healthy. Don't let people think, oh, I thought you loved me. Those are things that manipulators and users and narcissists try to do and say to you, make you feel guilty for doing something for yourself. Don't allow people to use you. You deserve better than that. You deserve to spend some time by yourself. You deserve to have some me time. You deserve a vacation. You deserve some time by yourself. You deserve to go out, to spend some time with friends. You deserve to have time apart from another person. And you agree, Silly Mommy? That is a big, major one. And for me, it's one of the biggest red flags that I have in relationship. I have a big problem if somebody cannot let you have time by yourself or time with friends. They don't want you to hang out. They don't want you to spend time with anybody but them. That's not healthy. That's not a healthy relationship. They should want you to spend time with friends and family. They should want you to be happy. They should want you to smile. They should be thinking about you. And manipulators, users, toxic people in general, and some people who have the mental illness of narcissism, they have the NPD, and they're not thinking about anybody but themselves. They put themselves on a pedestal. They think that they're the only person in the whole world. They're the only person in the planet. They're the smartest person. And that's dangerous to you. That will bring down your spirit. That will make you feel drained. Have you ever been around those type of people where they only say negative things? Nothing ever goes right for me. This person, and I don't have money, but they're steady not making good decisions. They're steady wasting their money. They're not trying to get a job and do anything, and they're only saying how broke they are. Everybody has the same type of tools. The tools are available to everybody, but it's up to us to how we use tools in our life. Everybody has job boards. Everybody has, the banks that they can put their money in, but it's up to us how we use our money. It's up to us how we choose to spend our time. It's up to us how we choose to spend some time in self-meditation and self-love, speaking positive affirmations over ourselves and over our lives. But we're the only one that can do that. And that's why I wanted to cover this topic and let you guys know, respect yourself. Respect yourself. Respect your time. Don't let somebody else waste your time. Don't let someone disrespect you, call you out your name, or only call you when they want something. That's not real love. Real love is going to care about what you want, care about what you need, even ask you how you're doing. Are you okay? Say, I was thinking about you. Send you flowers. Give you a few dollars here and there when they can. That's signs of healthy relationships. I do something for you, you do something for me. It cannot always be about them. And that's what a user, manipulator, narcissist, that's what they all do. They want the focus to only be on them. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy. It's dangerous. So distance yourself from those type of people. They're not deserving of your time. You deserve better for yourself. And I know for myself, I come from the generation of, parents that thought that you have to do things for your spouse or your significant other, that you have to, like you can't say no. But it's not healthy. It's toxic to always be the yes person. You have to say no. You have to say no so that you can show respect for yourself. You have to respect you. You have to put boundaries in place to let people know and understand these are the rules. This is what I want. And if you cannot do this for me, we cannot be together. And it's all relationships. Hi, Tony. Welcome. And it's all relationships. It's all relationships. If someone cannot respect your time, if someone cannot respect your thoughts, it's nothing wrong with having varied opinions. But people who are manipulators and users and narcissists, they think their opinion is the only opinion, and that is not true. It's not true. Your opinions matter. Don't let anybody, especially family members. Family members sometimes can be the most toxic influences in our lives. Hi, Angela. Welcome back. Yes. Hi, Tony. Welcome. You agree? Yes, I agree. Boundaries and in the power of saying no. Yes, silly mommy. There is power in saying no. There's so much power in when you can stand up for yourself and say, I respect me. And because I respect and love myself, especially when you know it's something you can't do financially. Don't do something financially that you're going to regret later. If you really can't do it, say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And no matter what they say, oh, I thought you loved me, I thought you cared about me. All of that is irrelevant. You have to do what is going to help you. You have to do what is best for you in a relationship. And don't let somebody who is toxic come and try to use you and get you to think things their way and make you think that there is nothing else that matters besides them. When that's not true. Remember, respect yourself. You matter. You're very important. Remember to love yourself. Don't let people drain you emotionally, verbally call you out your name, try to tell you that you're something that you're not. You know, there is power. There is power in self-love. Respect yourself. Love yourself. Don't let somebody use you and manipulate you, because you are deserving of the overflow of love, respect, confidence. Your opinions matter. You are smart and intelligent. So don't let anybody try to say something otherwise. If somebody cannot do something nice for you, if somebody can't step in the place for you, sometimes you may just need somebody to help you. But you can't always give to others. Giving to others sometimes may cause you to feel down. It may drain you. So that's when you have to remember that sometimes you have to love yourself more than that person. You have to respect yourself and know this is not something good for me. I can't commit to that. And that's part of being wise. That's part of wisdom, to know what things you can handle and what things you can't. So have some boundaries for yourself and stick to them. And be proud of yourself when you step up for yourself and, you know, you say, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I desire. Yeah, guys, I do appreciate everybody who came in today. Thank you so much for being a part of the Sunday Talks program. I really appreciated it. And I enjoyed this discussion. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I see so many times people are being used in relationships, especially with family members on the job, always asking you to do more, do more, do more. And there's never any gratitude. They're never grateful for the things that you do. So be careful. Open up your eyes. Use your wisdom. Respect yourself and love yourself, because you are deserving. You are deserving of everything important. You're deserving of having love and respect and kindness and gratitude. You deserve that. And if somebody cannot give you that, it may be time to pull away from those people, or just leave that relationship altogether. So I appreciate all you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of the Sunday Talks program. I really appreciate you guys for being here, and tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Monday, so you know it's Motivational Monday and the Dose of Positivity. That's going to premiere tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will have a vlog out. I'm editing that, so a vlog will be up. I'm not sure if it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I'm excited for that. So look out for the vlog that will be coming. And I appreciate all my members. I'm going to put all my members up here again. Thank you so much to all my members. If you would like to join membership on the channel, I would welcome you and become a part of the Best Life crew. My members are Boss Life Online, Bozo Calvin Jr., Team Ranger, Pandy's Hair Candy and more, Pittsburgh Artist Studio, Dunamis Sound Mind Services, Be Amazing Sylvia, and Marlin Music Channel. Thank you guys. Thank you to my members. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for being a valued member on my channel, and also my Best Life crew who watches my videos, leaves comments on it. I value you all as well. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel. You are a part of the success of my channel, and it matters so much to me. If I don't let you guys know that I appreciate you, it would not be good. I wasn't raised that way. I was raised to show appreciation and respect for when somebody does something for me. So I respect you guys and I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Boss Life Online, Angela, Silly Mommy. If there's anybody that I missed, I'm so sorry. But I appreciate all you guys. Yes. And the channel member show is coming up next. Boss Life Online, if you could put a link to that, I would really appreciate that. That's going to happen in 7 minutes. So does anybody have any content coming up this week? I'm going to have my dose of positivity tomorrow. And then, like I said, Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, I'm going to be premiering a blog. And then Saturday, I'm thinking about doing a live stream, just a regular live stream where I just check in on you guys and we talk about a topic, probably Saturday early sometime. So that will be coming up. So you guys let me know if you guys have some content, video uploading, Boss Life Online, Pandy's Hair Candy, and more. Be Amazing Sylvia and myself, we have the Outstanding Featured Channel Member Show, and it's every Sunday, and it starts at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Pandy's Hair Candy, following Be Amazing Sylvia. Then myself, I start at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then it ends with Boss Life Online. So check all those out. I appreciate everybody who is here. And now we're going to go to the Outstanding Featured Channel Member Show. It will be starting in about 5 minutes. I thank you, everybody, for watching. I am Marlene. I am the content creator for Living Your Best Life. And on this channel, I do encouraging, motivating, positive thoughts, story times, travel, Florida, vlogs, motivation and encouragement. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Please leave me a comment. I love reading you guys' comments. And I will see you guys tomorrow at the Dose of Positivity. Thank you so much. And I'm going to end with the channel song. And I'm going to have Boss Life Online take us out of here. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you guys on the next one, guys.
Hello, I am Gio, and I am the content creator for Boss Life Online. And as Living Your Best Life would say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know